We started thinking about how we could work on data analytics that would help support recovery from COVID-19, really as an incredibly rapid response to some of the really significant challenges, not only that we saw Rolls-Royce going through in the context of the COVID-19 crisis, but that we also saw, our colleagues, our supply chains, our customers, and the wider world going through. And we really responded, and you might remember that back at the very beginning of the pandemic in the UK government sent out a call to manufacturers, advanced manufacturers, to try to help to inject a lot more pace and capability into the ventilator supply chains. So they actually asked advanced manufacturers, Rolls-Royce included, to get together to look at how could we transform some of our supply chains and some of our manufacturing sites and processes into making ventilators to help address the NHS's pinch points with supporting, the most serious COVID-19 patients in our hospitals. Now that was hugely inspiring for us across the whole of the organisation, and more than 300 people in our civil aviation supply chain business completely dedicated themselves to looking at how we could source, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of parts in order to amplify and produce more ventilators for the UK. But as a group of data scientists, which is the team that I lead for Rolls-Royce, a lot of what we do feels a lot more abstracted than that. It feels like it's a couple of steps removed from the sort of physicality that is a lot of what Rolls-Royce does. And so two really inspiring individuals in my team, Dr. Klaus Paul and Dr. Nigel Hart, essentially sat down and said, over the space of 24, 48 hours, what can we do? Staring into the realities of this pandemic and the things that we know and the things that we don't know, what is it that a group of data scientists could do that might make a real difference here? And that's where the project, which at the time we called Emergent, was born, which is this idea about how can we use predictive data analytics to try to spot the emerging economic recovery cycles that would eventually come out of the pandemic. We knew there was going to be a period of time where, many businesses faced real difficulty, where demand for our services in terms of global power generation, particularly in the aviation market, were going to be greatly constrained. We knew it was going to be really, really tough. We knew that, needing to lock down, needing to, reduce freedom of movement, needing to potentially prevent people from, gathering together in workplaces or in social places, it's going to have a big knock-on effect on the economy. But we also strongly believed if we could find evidence from data about where the risks were reducing and therefore where economic activity could be promoted, we could help to lessen the recessionary impact of COVID-19. And that was the ambition which Klaus and Nigel came to me with and said, look, we genuinely believe some of our capabilities around simulation modelling, some of our capabilities around predictive analytics using data, and of course our very deep understanding of what it means to be in the global travel business, in the business of people moving around and meeting each other, which is what a lot of what Rolls-Royce does, that really could help us to offer analytics for planners, for decision makers, which would allow them to feel more confident about taking steps back towards economic recovery, recognizing that there was already an awful lot of focus and attention being given to managing the spread of the virus from a healthcare and data perspective already in train.